You know, from the oldest myths told around a campfire to the massive blockbusters we're all watching today, some stories, they just feel bigger, right? Well, it turns out they're often built on this ancient blueprint that has grabbed our attention for thousands of years. It's called the epic. So let's dive in and break down how this powerful formula is still shaping the stories we love. So, what really makes a story epic? I mean, is it just that it's super long and packed with action? Or is there something else? Some kind of secret ingredient, a deeper quality that takes a story and turns it into a legend? Okay, think about Star Wars. It's not just some fun space adventure, is it? No way. It's a whole galactic saga where the decisions made by just a handful of heroes and villains, they literally decide the fate of entire civilizations. The scale is just immense. Or how about The Lord of the Rings? The whole thing centers on the smallest possible hero, right? A hobbit. But his quest, it's completely world-altering. The evil he's up against is so huge that the stakes go way beyond personal. They're existential for everyone. And you can't forget Game of Thrones, right? I mean, what a sprawling story of political backstabbing and these terrifying supernatural threats, where the fate of an entire continent is just hanging by a thread. All of these stories, they feel huge, they feel important, and they feel timeless. And that's because, deep down, they all share the same DNA. See, that's the secret. They're all following this incredibly powerful ancient formula. It's a blueprint that's been working on us for literally thousands of years. So come on, let's unpack the core ingredients and figure out what makes an epic tick. Okay, so at its core, this is what we're really talking about. An epic is a long narrative poem. So it's lengthy, it's written in an elevated style, so it sounds grand and important. And it's all about a hero who isn't just a cool character. They're a symbol for what an entire culture believes in. It's kind of like a story that's both a piece of art and a historical record all rolled into one. Yeah, you can really think of it like a recipe. So first up, your main ingredient, a larger-than-life hero. Then you need a massive scope. We're not talking about a personal problem. We're talking about the fate of whole civilizations. The style also has to be elevated, formal and grand, using all these cool poetic tricks to make everything feel extraordinary. And the final touch? There's almost always some kind of supernatural intervention. You've got gods or fate or some other cosmic force pulling the strings behind the scenes. And this is where you can really see the difference, right? A normal story might focus on personal struggles, in a local town, told in everyday language. But an epic, it blows that up. It deals with cosmic battles, huge symbolic journeys, and its goal isn't just to entertain you for a couple of hours. Its real purpose is to help shape the identity of an entire culture. Now, this recipe, it's definitely not new. It's been tweaked and perfected for thousands of years. So let's go on a quick tour through literary history and see exactly how this incredible storytelling form has changed over time. Our journey starts way back in ancient Greece. Homer's Iliad and Odyssey pretty much wrote the rulebook. Then the Romans came along and adapted it. Virgil's Aeneid is a perfect example, linking the epic right to their national identity. Fast forward to the medieval period, and you get stories like Beowulf, which mixed in ideas about chivalry and religion. Then in the Renaissance, you have Milton's Paradise Lost, using the epic format to dig into these huge theological questions. And that whole long journey brings us right here, to today, where those core ingredients are still as powerful as ever. So yeah, from the scrolls of ancient Greece to the giant screens at the cinema, this blueprint has been changed and adapted. But the reasons it connects with us, those have stayed exactly the same. So that's the big question, isn't it? Why? Why does this ancient structure still have such a powerful grip on our imagination? Well, the answer really comes down to the timeless themes. Epics aren't afraid to tackle the biggest questions we have. What does it mean to be a hero? How much of our life is fate versus our own choices? They look at the brutal reality of war and the tough moral choices we all have to make. And maybe most importantly, they help create a shared cultural identity. They give us this huge stage to explore who we are together. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The epic isn't just another genre on the shelf. It's more like a powerful tool, a tool that civilizations have always used to figure out their values, to hold on to their history, and, honestly, to just make sense of a really chaotic world. And all this leaves us with one last big thought. The epic has always evolved to reflect what people were thinking and worrying about at the time. So when we look around at the stories being told right now, in books, on our screens, in video games, you just have to ask yourself, what's going to be the epic of our generation?
What's the story we're going to tell to make sense of our own